We said we'd talk about politics and whether Bill Clinton's upset about Joe Biden possibly getting into the race and everything else. It's interesting, and Blake Berman's all over, of course. He joins us now. Hey, Blake.
Certainly is. Connell, hi there. Good afternoon to you. The break from the campaign trail is over for Hillary Clinton. She's back from vacation and returns to a jam-packed schedule. Clinton makes 3 different stops in Iowa today. Tomorrow morning, she's in Ohio. Tomorrow evening in Los Angeles for a fundraiser. Now, as you mentioned, this all comes as the interest and speculation into Joe Biden's decision intensifies. This morning, Politico reported that former President Bill Clinton is, quote, very agitated by the possibility of a Biden campaign. Politico adds on top of that, Bill Clinton is incensed at the current Biden hype. Now, on the record, Hillary Clinton's campaign has been consistently complimentary of Biden. Just last night, the campaign manager there, Brian Fallon, told Alan Combs they feel like Biden would be a, quote, formidable opponent. The White House has steer cleared so far, only to say selecting Biden as his vice presidential nominee has been the best political decision President Obama has ever made. Now, that had one reporter asking earlier this week, well, what about the former Secretary of State?
Yeah, it was. And I think what the president has spoke at quite some length about the appreciation, respect, and admiration he has for the service of Secretary Clinton, particularly in her 4 years as Secretary of State.
Now, briefly, here's what could be giving the Clinton camp some pause. In a swing state poll earlier this week, Biden in a head-to-head matchup fared better against Donald Trump, Marco Rubio, and Jeb Bush than Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders did. And, of course, Connell, Joe Biden is polling in the low double digits nationally as well. He hasn't even thrown his name into the ring just yet.
Right. We'll see how that's affected. Thank you, Blake. If he does actually get in, you usually see those polls switch around. Let's go to Christy Setzer and Hadley Heath Manning to join us right now. Christy, a top Democratic strategist, and Hadley with the Independent Women's Forum. The idea that all the clowns, and I use that as a term that others have used, saying that the Republican race is like a clown car. Maybe it's the Democratic race, too, the intrigue on this between the president, his former cabinet secretary Hillary Clinton, and his current vice president. Apparently, a lot of Republicans, and I don't know, Hadley, maybe you feel this way, a lot of Republicans are celebrating all this attention that Joe Biden is giving to the Democratic side. What do you think?
I think speculation about a Joe Biden run is good for Republicans, but I'm not sure an actual run from Joe Biden would be good for Republicans.
Why?
Let me explain what I mean.
Okay.
I think speculation means that Democrats are signaling that they're not excited about their top 2 frontrunners right now, Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders. But an actual run from Joe Biden shouldn't be underestimated. He's very likable. He's a very talented speaker and politician, and not someone that Republicans should write off. That's
interesting, Christy. And the thing I would say about that, and I'd be curious to see what you think, is that although, as Blake pointed out in this swing state poll, he matches up better with Trump and some of the other top Republican candidates, the history of Joe Biden running for president has not been a good history for him. He hasn't done well in presidential races, and he's had some in the past. So why would it be different this time?
It might not be. The difference is that there's a clear opening that he and many others see that, who are seeing Hillary as somewhat of a weakened candidate right now. But, look, count me among those who think that competition for Hillary Clinton is a good thing right now. It will improve her candidacy. I think it already has. We saw that when Bernie Sanders started picking up steam, then you also saw Hillary Clinton start talking about issues that are of importance to progressives, income inequality, Wall Street reform, raising the minimum wage, issues like that. I think the same thing would happen just, even just with the specter of a Biden candidacy, that it's going to force Hillary's campaign to pick up the pace a little, clean up some of their internal mess a bit.
You get challenged. Sometimes, a lot of times you get challenged, you respond better. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I feel like the Democrats are not that excited about Biden, and the Republicans are a little skeptical about Biden. I'm not sure what the motives are in all of this, Hadley, but I don't know. But you're serious about this. You think Biden's a tougher opponent than Hillary?
Well, he certainly has different baggage. I'm not going to say he's the ideal candidate. There is no ideal candidate on either side of the aisle in this field, on either side. So Vice President Biden would represent, in a lot of ways, a third term for the Obama years. I think Republicans would attempt to paint him that way. And, of course, he is gaffe-prone. He's made some missteps in his time in office as vice president, and those things would be scrutinized more if he were to become a candidate. But, of course, Hillary Clinton, just over the past month or so, she's seen a dip in her ratings as she's had some gaffes of her own, and her mishandling of Servergate has hurt her in a big way.
Hadley, Christie, thanks to both of you.